For the first time in nearly 200 years, the daughter of an American president is now back home in Virginia. Eliza Monroe Hay was the daughter of James Monroe, a founding father and the nation's fifth president. She died in Paris and was buried there far from her family until a very determined woman set out to bring her back to Virginia. Our bureau chief, Carey, explains what drove the 5-year odyssey.
Today is about bringing Eliza home.
It was a funeral mass that came 185 years after Eliza Monroe Hay died in Paris, a president's daughter buried in an unmarked grave. During the president's 2 terms, Eliza frequently took on First Lady duties because her mother was often ailing. But history books did not describe her fondly.
Basically, Eliza was so obstinate, contrary, and later in life had an argument with family and went off to Paris to live out the rest of her life and die there.
The narrative didn't sit right with retired teacher Barbara Vorndick, who volunteers as a history interpreter at James Monroe's Highland near Charlottesville. A grandmother herself, she couldn't believe that Eliza would abandon her family, her 3 grandchildren.
And I am a grandmother, so there is no way.
Barbara started digging into primary source documents, converting her dining room into a research room. She uncovered a much different profile, Eliza nursing family, even strangers through epidemics. And it was Eliza's letters that revealed a much different story about her trip to Paris. This one to the King of France not long before she died, reading, "I'm now in distress, in ill health, in a foreign country. If your majesty can aid me at the present moment, it may save me from utter ruin."
Holding those last letters that she wrote, she was pleading from the page. I mean, it was heart-rending. It just grabbed my heart, and I knew I had to find out what really happened.
Barbara's conclusion in her book, Eliza's True Story, that Eliza went to Paris for a visit on the advice of her doctor, taking just 2 trunks, never intending to stay, but ending up impoverished when her brother-in-law refused to send her inheritance.
She's dying in debt. She's overseas. You know, we needed to bring her home. It just was obvious to me. It's what Americans do.
The Bringing Eliza Home campaign was born, a plan to repatriate Eliza's remains. And one of Barbara's biggest final hurdles, tracking down every living Monroe descendant and getting their permission to exhume Eliza and bring her back. Michael Campman is one of them, thrilled to learn more about his ancestor.
I was really moved and impressed that a woman who was not even a relation was so driven to find the truth.
In June, 5 years after starting her quest, Barbara was at Dulles Airport to welcome Eliza home, an emotional moment. Michael was there too.
That was a really emotional day, of course. I cried.
One of the first things I did was I turned to the casket and said, "Welcome home, Grandmother Eliza." It was a very very, very deeply moving thing.
This week in Richmond, Barbara, the other women who helped her, Michael, and the other descendants all at the Mass. Then the moment Barbara long envisioned. Eliza Monroe Hay's remains back in this country, buried next to the elaborate grave of her presidential father and mother at Hollywood Cemetery in Richmond.
It was a relief, really, to see her coffin in the ground with her family, and I sort of immediately felt like, after all of that, yeah, I'm real happy, very happy.
Happy there is a new story being told about Eliza. Happy she's home at last. In Richmond, Virginia, I'm Carey, News 4.